Kerala, land of lush green fields, backwaters, and heavily vegetated and forested hillsides, where nature has showered its bounty. No less than 1/4 of the area is covered by dense forests, sprouting 600 varieties of trees. Kerala is a long, narrow strip along the southwest coast, between the azure blue waters of the Arabian Sea and the Western Ghats. Because of the Western Ghats, Kerala escaped domination by the successive waves of empire builders who conquered India by land. The Ghats play an important role in the climate of the state. Come the twice-a-year monsoon season in June, July and November, December, and the clouds descend on the Western Ghats, tenuous, fragile, translucent strands of mist cascading down hillsides, transforming them into a land of chimerical, romantic beauty. This gift of nature has given Kerala a number of springs, waterfalls and rivers. Modern science has learned to utilize these waterfalls for pollution-free generation of electricity and conserve water for irrigating a land hitherto uncultivated. One of the highest and biggest dams in India is the Idukki Dam. It produces electricity as well as now irrigates the so far uncultivated land. This enables the farmers to raise more than one crop in a large area. When a dam is built, a vast area in the hills is submerged underwater, creating artificial lakes. The Periyar Lake near Thekadi is one such lake covering an area of about 27 square kilometers. And the surrounding forest is the famous Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary. The Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary is best known for observing wild elephants at close quarters and is also a preserve declared as a tiger reserve under Project Tiger. Other wildlife include mouse deer, black-naped hare, wild bear, sambar, Nilgiri langur, barking monkey and wild dogs. The priceless trees in the mountain which control the climate were all destroyed when the water submerged the forest. Today, skeletons of these trees protrude from the water like the hands of a drowning man. This is indeed a heavy price to pay for development. Towards the south, the hills constituting the Western Ghats are relatively bare of vegetation because the monsoons are not as bounteous as in the northern areas. Like the antiquity of the Western Ghats, Kerala is perhaps one of the very few places where primeval tropical rainforests exist. Well known among them is the Silent Valley. This virgin forest has an abundance of tropical species of flora and fauna. Tropical wet evergreen forests are best developed in areas with over 300 centimeters of rain and a relatively short dry season. The rainforest is very dense and lofty, some trees here reaching up to 60 meters. The concern for and awareness of the environment has of late been catching on and led to dropping the idea of constructing a dam on the Kunti River. the dam would have destroyed the pristine, gorgeous, natural beauty of this virgin forest land. Close to the Silent Valley is the Kasine glauca tree, the oldest in the country, with a height of 13 meters and a large hollow trunk which a man can easily enter into and see the sky through. Despite nature's gift of numerous waterfalls and large lakes, water scarcity does exist in parts of Kerala, a penalty paid for unbridled deforestation. Mountain springs which once sparkled with gushing crystal clear water have now been reduced to a trickle of moisture, which is painstakingly collected by the people for drinking purposes. Inhabitants of the forests, the tribals, live off these forests as they have been doing since time immemorial. The most common tribals are Irular, Malayar, Muttuvan, Paniyar and Muduga. Among these forests, they have discovered plants such as priceless pepper. Although the hill products made many people from the plains rich, the tribals are yet to gain the benefits. So far, these illiterates are being exploited by the literates. Now every effort is being made to bring them to the mainstream of society. The huts of the tribals are made of palm leaves or bamboo leaves. They make holes for windows on these thatched walls. Despite hard living conditions, the tribals are a perpetually cheerful lot. Tribal schools and special training centers have been established which train them in the making of handicrafts like basket weaving, lampshades, etc. The output of the trained tribals in the requisite design commands a ready market. Raw materials for handicrafts such as palm leaves are abundantly available locally. The rough palm leaf and bamboo eventually are transformed into baskets and items of daily use in the household. The staple food of Kerala is rice, which is extensively cultivated in the plains. Despite the increasing production, Kerala is far from self-sufficient in rice. This lack of self-sufficiency in staple food is more than compensated through a wide variety of cash crops, earning badly needed foreign exchange for our country. The soil and climate of the hilly areas are ideally suited for growing a wide variety of spices. At the lower ranges of the mountain, rubber, the most important cash crop of Kerala, is grown. Kerala was the only state till recently where rubber plantations existed, and the prosperous rubber industry has grown up. Pepper, also known as black gold, the much sought after Indian coffee, areca nut, and the recent addition to the already rich crop, cocoa, are a few of the important agricultural products. Up in the mountains, where the climate is cool and there is abundant rainfall, are the sprawling tea estates. Here, some of the most fragrant varieties of hill tea in the country are produced. The tea estates have their own factories to process freshly plucked tea leaves. Indian tea is much sought after at home and abroad. Cardamom is yet another spice cultivated in high hills. These hills have earned their nomenclature from this prized product. One of the important horticultural products in India is cashew. As a concomitant to cashew plantation, cashew processing industry has sprung up, offering employment to a large number of people in and around Koilon. In fact, a major portion of cashew nuts have to be imported from Africa to sustain the industry, which earns valuable foreign exchange. Terrace farming is a dire necessity for those who live in the hilly areas. Farming in hills is indeed far more difficult than on the plains. The slopes are leveled for cultivation at regular intervals. They look like a series of steps carved out along the hill slopes. In the early days, the mountain areas were thickly forested and uninhabited. Increasing population pressure led to the spread of agriculture to new areas and to the migration within and outside the state. The British started plantations and people began settling in the high ranges. Plantations changed the economic face of Kerala. The population of Kerala is a combination of Negritos, Proto-Australoids, Dravidians and Aryans. While the tribals belong to Negritos and Proto-Australoids, others belong to Dravidians and Aryans. Kerala women in their typical dresses wending their way to work is a common sight in all parts of the state. Most of the people wear white clothes, probably because of the hot and humid climate. Islam is said to have come to Kerala as early as 8th century AD. And today, the Muslims form an important and integral part of Kerala's cultural milieu and mix. The Muslims have a typical way of dressing themselves. Hindus and Christians also have their own styles reflected in their dresses. The architecture of Kerala is unique in its style. Among the most elaborate examples of traditional Kerala architecture are the various palaces built over centuries. The Padmanabhapuram Palace near Trivandrum, built by King Marthandavarma of Venad, is an example of this style of building. During his reign, he combined many princely states and ruled Travancore from this palace. The vast palace grounds contain the beautiful gardens, still maintained impeccably. But for the base, the structure of the palace is made of wood. There is also a Navaratri hall carved out of solid rock where 9-day-long music concerts were held to mark the Hindu festival of the same name, held in honor of goddess Saraswati. Statues, galleries and corridors surround the palace. The Suchindram temple in the periphery of Kerala leans towards the temple architecture of Tamil Nadu. Kerala has the largest literacy rate in the country. For all the modernization which has been introduced in Kerala, it still retains its ancient tradition and culture. It is reflected in Kalaripayattu, an ancient martial art developed by Kalaris or gymnasia. The Kalaris functioned vigorously till about the 17th century, when the use of guns became widespread. The superb skills of Malayalis in circus is directly attributable to their skills in Kalaripayattu. On the soil of Kerala have also developed art forms which are now famous all over the world. The Keligotta, an ensemble of Chenda, Maddalam and Chengala, announces a night-long performance of the most prominent dance drama, Kathakali. The word Kathakali is derived from the Malayalam word Katha, meaning story, and Kali, meaning play. This is a dance derived from an old dance form, Ramanattam. Kathakali is an excellent synthesis of all that is best in dance, drama and music. It is a visual art par excellence. Kathakali was patronized by the kings, but with their decline, the art form too declined. It was revived by Mahakavi Vallattur and is now patronized by the state government and by various temples. The theme, more often than not, is Mahabharata, the epic war. For their elaborate makeup, the dancers use purely vegetable colors, harmless for the body. Among the most romantically scenic areas of Kerala are its natural canals and backwaters. On their banks grow thick, lush tropical vegetation in which coconut palms and banana trees predominate and which provide a major source of food and income for the denizens of these scenic areas. The broad canal banks are ideal for paddy cultivation. The people living along the canals and the backwaters have developed a water-oriented culture and lifestyle of their own. Their thatched huts with raised platforms are ideal for hot and humid conditions of the area for most of the year. Boat making, canoeing and fishing are ingrained in these people. No wonder then that a large number of India's seafaring men should come from Kerala. And in this state where canals, rivers and backwaters play such an important role, it is but natural that the most important festival of Onam should center around boats and boating. From this natural aptitude for negotiating rivers and canals has arisen the famed snake boat race of Kerala, when 80 to 100 rowers, plying their oars in rhythm of their coxswains' chat, vie with each other to carry the honors of the day year in and year out. Notwithstanding cultural contrasts and a diversity of religious practices, Kerala has succeeded in developing a typical harmonious lifestyle. It lives at the leisurely pace of the ageless crafts, plying its network of canals and backwaters. In spite of the very high density of population and an urban-rural continuum, the virginal beauty of nature is preserved all along the state. Maybe that's why tourists say that the god who made Kerala had green fingers.